Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
So we have reached till 9th shloka. And today, this 9th shloka we are going to discuss. Verbatim, let us go for the meaning first. What is the meaning of this shloka? Mahi means earth. Mooladhare. Mooladhare, the root chakra. Kamapi Manipure. Here little difference. Water has been placed in Manipura chakra. Kamapi Manipure. Utavaham. Swadhisthane. The agni tattva has been placed at Swadhisthane. Okay. Mahi Mooladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham. Next.
Hridi Marut.
Hridi Marut. Hridi Marutam Akasham Upari. Hridi Marutam. Hridi means heart chakra. Marutam means Vayu tattva. Akasham. Akash tattva. Upari means above. Means Vishuddha chakra. Okay. Further, Mano Api Bhru Madhye. Mano Api Bhru Madhye. Also, not only 5 tattvas, also Mano Api Bhru Madhye, third eye, which is 6th chakra. Mano Api Bhru Madhye. Sakalam Api Bhitva Kulapatham. This is the wording. Sakalam Api Bhitva Kulapatham. Further,
Sahasrare Padme.
Sahasrare Padme. Seventh chakra, Sahasrare. Padme means Kamal, the lotus. Saha Rahasi. Saha, with, together, conjoined. Rahasi means lives. Patya means Shiva. Whose pati, whose husband, whose master, whose consort? Shakti's consort, Shiva. Saharahasi, Patya. Viharase means enjoys. Vihar means leisurely walking around. Leisurely. Okay, so this is the literal meaning. Verbatim meaning is this. Now, with the Tattva Shakti Vigyan practitioners, of course, all of you are practicing this. Minimum 5 tattvas in Pratham Koti, which means barring Mano Api Bhru Madhye, you are doing it. Okay, you are recognizing the Shakti. So Shakti is present in all these chakras in the form of tattvas. Alright. So when we said Tattva Shakti Vigyan, so you should understand. Tattva is manifestation of Shakti and we are doing sadhana of Shakti in the form of Tattva. Understand? So you thought you were doing sadhana of Tattvas. Is it not? Most of you would have been thinking and would have thought that we are doing Tattva sadhana. But we are doing Shakti sadhana in the form of Tattvas. You should be clear about it. Now, here a little bit difference from the conventional understanding of tattvas, where each of these tattvas reside. Because you are sure about all the tattvas and all the chakras. We have taught you not what Saundarya Lahari says. what most of, rather all of systems, all of the books will tell you. Even other tantric books will also tell you that. Okay. Even other tantric books will also tell you that. What it means? It means that the earth is residing at Mooladhara, the root chakra. The water residing at Swadhisthana. Then Manipur on the solar plexus, we have fire element. On heart chakra, we have air element, which is Vayu Tattva. And above that, we have Akash or ether. So this is the understanding given generally. Here there is little bit change. Shankracharya is saying, Kamapi Manipure, Hutavaham Swadhisthane. So Hutavaham means something which is offered. Okay. From this word comes another word which is known as Ahuti, in which you offer something. And Hutavaham means when you are offering something for gods, who carries them? It is fire which carries them. So Hutavaham means the one who carries the oblations, the offerings which are given to gods. Hutavaham. So that is why it is Agni. Okay. And one more thing which I would like to tell each one of you, that when we are doing homam as Nitya Karma means some people do homam every day. Okay. This is Nitya Karma for them. For many people who belong to Dayanand Saraswati sect, what is called?
Arya Samaj.
Arya Samaj.
Yes. So Arya Samaj. So Arya Samajis will do homam every day. Even in our traditions, in other Vedic traditions, we recommend doing homam every day, but not the physical homam, not the physical offerings, right? We will understand when we move beyond Tritiya Koti, or at least when we are in last phases of Tritiya Koti sadhana, then we would cover some text which is called Netra Tantra. There we will understand the whole definition of homam, and the pranayam, dharana, dhyan, samadhi will change. Okay, it's not physical anymore. But here, just to add to your information, when we are doing some anushtanam, in the anushtanam, when we decide a timing of conducting homa, because every anushthan is done in a sequence. You invoke the god or invoke the deity, offer him a seat, and then conduct all the processes, which is kind of panchopachar, shodashopachar. Then japam is done. After japam has been done, then finally dashansha homam is done. Dashansh means 10th part of the japam. Suppose you have done 1 lakh japam. 1 lakh will always mean as 1.088 lakhs. Okay, 0.08 is not counted. So 1 lakh japam you have done, then 10,800 you have to offer as oblation, to offer in the fire. That is homa. Okay. So this homa, after any elaborate anushtan, is to be done when that particular agni, hutavaham, is present in the fire in mrityaloka, on earth. Okay, not all the time at all the places that fire which carries the offerings in the home kunda are not taken to the gods. That time is called, that duration, that period is called agni vasa. Okay, agni vasa. Agni vasa. Agni means fire, vasa means that fire as a deity lives in the fire there. Okay, so beyond that frame of time, if you are offering anything to fire, apart from if you are already taking your homa as a daily routine, which is nitya karma, it is not going to go to the gods. This is a system. Okay. So just for information, nothing to do with this explanation of this uh, mantra, this shloka. So Hutavaham is that fire which carries the offerings made by you to the gods. So Shankaracharya is talking of Hutavaham at the level of Swadhisthana. It is his experience. Let me tell you, it is his experience. He has found that Swadhisthana is having fire and Manipur is having water. You can't challenge it. It is his understanding. Okay. Why not? Because he is a different person altogether. He is not ordinary person. You know, you decided to attend satsang, not sannyas, at the age of 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, right? And he decided to take sannyas when he was 4 to 6 years old. So you understand the difference in the whole anatomy, whole structure of the person, how that person would be. So you can't challenge his understanding, and we should not. In ordinary person, this is the positioning of tattvas, where it begins from earth, moves on to the next chakra is having water, next chakra has fire, and so on. So avatars have different kind of notation. They have different arrangement of everything. They don't subscribe to even some of the kanchukas many at times. See, when Krishna comes, whenever, whatever he wants, it happens. You see. But he lives in an ordinary human body. So if he start talking about yoga and chakras, probably his description will not match the description given by ordinary yogi. Understand? Because he'll be talking with his own experience. Right? Right? So it is his experience. We can't challenge it. However, we will, for simplicity, we will take it our way. If you want me to explain why he is talking like that, why his fire is placed at Swadhisthana and not at any other level, I'll just give you a hint and you'll understand a little bit. You see, fire is a transformative element. Fire is an element, fire is that tattva which is said to be of desiring more, right? Desiring more. So moving from an ordinary people, desiring more and more and more. Understand? Whereas water is creating human connections, right? Creating human connections, emotional connections, getting engaged into reproduction, etc., sexuality. That's Swadhisthana. Now look at an ordinary person's movement, how it is. First, survival needs, which is of course earth element and Mooladhara. But suppose a person has directly skipped it and he is in the 6 years of age and 7 years of age, he is now into sannyas. He thinks like that. Think about it. He has bypassed the human connections. Those connections, the desire for karma, everything is bypassed and a new fire has arisen in. And therefore his experience is different. His consciousness experiences water later on. And his water, therefore, is culmination of this transformation by fire, which is kind of bhakti towards the deity. The connection, the ordinary people, horizontal or downward movement of water. For him, this water is moving upward. Like you see, water moves upward, then only it comes downward. The clouds do have water. Not 1 or 2 kgs, by the way. Billions of tons of water reaches the sky. Billions and trillions of tons. Let me tell you, it is floating in the sky. And you can't explain it how it happens. You see? So much weight in the clouds. You can't explain. Scientists may give you some arguments, give you some reasons that, yeah, the water reaches, and then finally it starts condensing and getting condensed and comes down. How much? How much? How many kgs? See, trillions of tons of water reaches upward. This upward movement of water, or rather for him, this connect is not with the ordinary human beings. His connect is moving upward. It is not the horizontal movement. It's not the downward movement. For him, the emotions are moving up. And therefore, we can see that fire also moves up. And for him, emotions are moving up. And what he is experiencing first as fire, not as water. Understood? Understood little bit? For you, the desire for more comes later. For him, already the transformation has happened, and the desire is to be one with that, create that connect. He sees himself as the child of the Mother Divine. Many places you will find. You see, his connect is not horizontal. His connect is upward. His water, his emotion is taking him upward. Your emotion, your mamata, ahanta is going downward, or spreading your span of the net in which you are trapped. Understood? That's the reason. And that's the reason he says his consciousness has experienced it this way, and therefore he says, Hutavaham at Swadhishthan. Swadhishthan, once you understand, then you will further be able to correlate why he is calling fire at Swadhishthan. See, for ordinary persons, you have to have some sort of exposure to external influences in order to trigger that transformation. Yes or no? Ordinarily, you would require certain inputs, certain guidance, certain material, certain information, certain framework, certain trigger before the transformation happens. Yes or no? So that means these inputs come only from your peers, your relations, your teachers, and all that, right or not? Or scriptures in your horizontal expansion. Yes or no? It is offered to you. After that, you feel like, yeah, I must also change. Out of blue, nobody goes for transformation. But here, Shankracharya is going transformation out of blue. 6 years old child, he wants to take sannyas and he wants to go, not dog world, he wants to go God world. Think about it. How? This is transformation without any external inputs, right? Such a person is definitely going to give you a different meaning, different understanding of his own consciousness. Here on, right? Shankracharya says that I am experiencing that fire of transformation right after my childhood. No inputs required, no guru needed, no scriptures to be read. He is directly experiencing transformation, and transformation represents fire. Fire is that transformation. And therefore, his consciousness experiences basic needs met through the mother, father left too early, mother only. He is risen above the need of security so quickly. He doesn't need any more connections. And therefore, he starts getting into the transformation. The transformation represents fire. Understand now? You should clearly see why this change has happened. This sequence has been changed. But anyways, that's not the topic. Our topic is Ma Bhagwati, Shakti, and how she is manifesting herself in different tattvas, whether they are the gross, they are the subtle. As a Mano api bhru madhye. When it is called Mano api bhru madhye, now it should not be taken as only mind stuff. And there is a difference. Mind stuff and mind is different. Mind stuff is chittam, which is also referred as mind. You see, which is also referred as mind. For example, the taste sweet, and when you go and ask for sweets, both resemble the same. They are the same spelling. Just ask for sweets, you will get objects. When you say sweet, it's only something which you are experiencing. In the same way, when it was said mind, mana means mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, everything. So what does it mean? Mind is also Shakti, manifest. And why not? Are we not amazed at our own mind sometimes? Whatever little portion of mind we are conscious about. Are we not amazed at the capacity of being aware? See? Being aware is also greatest of the miracles. This awareness itself, the consciousness itself is greatest of miracles. And once you have reached there, that means once you have started taking this world as an experience and the capacity of experiencing also as the play of Shakti, where is the place for your ahankara? Where is the place for your ahankara? You're already there. You're already there. Only with gyan, only with knowledge, only with little bit pondering, only with little bit applying yourself, you can liberate yourself. You can become free of this world. Only right kind of thinking is needed. Right kind of thinking is needed. You don't need books, you don't need teachers, you don't need mantras, you don't need sadhana, you don't need levels. Let me tell you very frankly. All you need is right kind of thinking. That is the only criterion. Rest is accessory, periphery. It is not necessary for you to get to all that. If you are capable of minding your mind and understanding your mind, and when I say mind, mind means man, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, not only mind. Understood? Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Everything you should be able to cognize as it is. And the day you are able to cognize ahankara, you will immediately be released from this ahankara and you will reach a very, very different domain of experience. That is called Atma Sakshatkar. Right? Because it doesn't exist and therefore it can be seen through. Understand? Because it doesn't exist and therefore when you look at it, you are able to see through it because it doesn't exist. The ego is just a hallucination. What is ego for that matter? The ego is the collection of all your self-definitions combined. That is ego. Ego doesn't exist separately. Ego is your ideas about someone which you think is you. When I'm talking of the ideas, you clearly see the ideas are not you. How then collection of ideas? The corroboration between the ideas can be you. Then you are someone who can experience that as well. So that means you are beyond it. Understand? How do you move beyond this mano api bhru madhye? The final destination, he is saying, sahasrare padme saharasi patyaviharse. Your consciousness has to move from mahim mooladhare, whatever way your tattvas are in between. You know? And don't start claiming that Acharya ji, I am born with the akasha in mooladhara. Okay. Because the Shankracharya can be born with the fire in the Swadhisthana. I am born with this. So in my survival needs, I am liberated. No. Okay. You have to elevate your awareness. Elevate means you have to liberate one by one. So these are the steps. For Shankracharya, there was a different step. Right? For you, it may be a little bit different, but these are the steps moving from one to another and to another to another. Finally, you'll have to be at the mercy of Mother Divine to resolve this mano. It is being talked as a separate topic, mano api. Also mind. It is not counted in these five, right? That means it has a special significance in Tattvas. Mind is the most intricate, most powerful, more deceptive, and more engaging, and most amazing Tattva. But this is not you. What to talk of your mind not being you? Today, you are your car, you are your son and daughter, you are your house, you are your land, you are your position, you are your other relationships, you are still some unfinished stamina for bhoga, you are ever unfulfilled agenda of desiring more. You are either someone noble or someone who thinks he is not so. So you are everything but not that which you should be, right? And all these connections we have to step by step undo. First, Mahi Mooladhara. Whatever gross we are connected with, right? Your world is Vastu Sangrah, Vyakti Sangrah. For those who don't understand Hindi, this Klishta Hindi, let me elaborate a little. Your world is your desire to collect things and keep them with you. And second, your desire to keep and collect human beings, or maybe even dogs and cats will also be in that category. You want to collect that and keep them with you. If you have looked at it properly and recognized it does not elevate any experience of mind, rather, collecting things and thinking that they have become mine only gives me pain and trouble. The day you are able to think this way, you are able to look at this way, it only takes up my mind, it only engages me so much so that I forget who am I. Yes or no? Because when you are attending to your dog, you become away, you definitely move away from being yourself. It is. Right. So I was saying that our world is collection of things and collection of people. And we have to recognize that by collecting things and people, we don't get any better. Right? I'm not saying that you don't have to have these things or don't have to live with people. When I say collecting, it's a different meaning. You will have to live amidst of things, that's for sure. It's unavoidable. Second, you will also be always dependent on people. But that which is dependent on people and things is not you, it is your body. Or at most, your little bit superficial mind, which is so fearful, is not able to stay in that calm, quiet, and joyous mode without being surrounded and without feeling connected with people. How do you think that such yogis, sannyasis, sadhus, sadhaks, they are able to live alone? You see, they are alone, but they are not lonely. For you, it is different. Maybe you are living among people and still feel lonely. You have a different kind of software, so nobody can predict. Maybe you're living among people and still feeling lonely. So feeling lonely has nothing to do with people being around. Understand? Feeling insecure has nothing to do with the objects being collected, because there are people who have it all but always insecure. What will happen tomorrow? Yes or no? So it is not necessary that you have to have it in order to, but let's not get to that higher expectations from you. Let's not expect high. Let us remain ordinary. And in our ordinariness also, if we look at the world and look at our own experience, is it really difficult to live alone? Don't you need some time alone? And if you need some time alone, tell me, why do you need it? Think about it. Think about it. Because only when you are alone, you are able to replenish your energies. Otherwise, everywhere, in every interaction, you are just dissipating your energy. It's a job to live with people. And it's nourishment to be alone. It's a project to live with people. And it's an utter relaxation to be alone. Look at it. But you are only habitually connected with people. Why? Because you are mindlessly, blindly living your life without analyzing and without looking at what you're doing. Never ever thinking about anything else. All right, so you have to be dependent on people. Nobody can say that I'm not dependent on people. Whole your life, in some or the other way, you will have to be dependent on people. But that's a project, I'm telling you. So minimum, or I'll say minimal, connect with people will save a lot of your Shakti, which can be now transmuted into higher chakras. Right? The lower two, I'm giving the step-by-step approach. Lower two chakras for ordinary people, where emotions correspond to the relations, correspond to water, and materials correspond to earth. Mooladhar and Swadhisthana are the two chakras which you can move on, which you can move beyond only by looking at your life closely and take corrective measures only in your understanding. Nothing else is needed. You don't have to leave your place. Don't have to say that till yesterday you were saying I love you and today you are saying I hate you. No, not needed. You can still say I love you. But fully knowing it's an investment of energies. And we're talking of Shakti only. If we'll put, let's say, in a bucket, at the lower levels, if we put a lot of holes, can this bucket be filled ever? It's not possible. It's not possible. We are talking of Kundalini here. Kundalini is that unmanifest energy, the coiled serpent, like a spring, loaded spring. What is it doing? Uncoiling. It's uncoiling. Continuously supporting it, giving you the desired energy, whatever. Wherever you invest, it's your choice. So we tend to invest most of it in these two. And let me tell you, if these two we are not taking as seriously as we are taking now, if we stop taking that way, and how do we do that? Not taking seriously means not getting bound by them. Fully understanding it's a need. It's a need. It is though person dependent, object dependent, but people and object without any labels will also do. Understand? Without putting the tag of my, it will do. Where all the needs will be fulfilled. Where all the objects you will be enjoying in your life, whatever is there, without putting the tag of my. Okay. And when we move beyond these two, and continue to interact with this world, we start feeling as if we have become somebody who is holier than others, someone who has more potential, someone who has more power. Now, this is another problem which you'll have to face if you start living a life of renunciate while still being in the world. You can do that. Being renunciate, still living in the world. It does not mean that you'll not be affectionately interacting with people. It's not that you will not be fulfilling your physical needs. It's not. It will not that you'll not quench your thirst. It will not be equivalent to that you don't eat, you starve to death, you'll feed yourself and all that. And even you'll have to meet the needs of people who are supplying you certain kind of goodies in the return. You'll have to. In the lower classes, we studied nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, oxygen cycle, the food cycle. And this is what is this karma cycle. You can't do away with this. If somebody is doing for you, you'll have to do it. This is the karma cycle. This karma cycle will continue. You can't move beyond it. You can definitely move beyond it in the sense that you don't take it as seriously as you're taking now. Take it for granted that this is how it will be. This is how it is destined to be. And there's nothing wrong in transacting in this world, but internally not claiming it as your own. That's it. Understand? The first two you have done, the second thing will come. This needs to be dealt very carefully. And this can be dealt only with the guidance of a teacher, a guru. Why? Because the guru is one who will always crush your ego. Show you your mirror, always. Maybe you are doing so many good things. Hardly Guru will praise. Guru will always find something which is to be worked on, still worked on. He will not talk of what you have worked on. Why? If you are doing something good, it's your job. As a sadhak, you are supposed to do. Why Guru should praise about it? It's your job. You have decided to move on this path. You have decided to discipline yourself. You have decided to put up effort and energy in this particular endeavor. It's your duty. Why should Guru praise you for doing your duty? It's your duty. And therefore you should always know. And all your problem is this only, even in your day-to-day interactions. When you are doing your duty, you expect thank you in return. You think that somebody should appreciate it. You are not doing anything which is beyond your scope of duty. Why should you expect any thanks or appreciation in return? Tell me. Look at your life and you will agree that most of so-called he doesn't understand me, she doesn't understand me comes from that. He doesn't understand me, she doesn't understand, she doesn't appreciate me, he doesn't appreciate. What? You're doing your duty. Come on. For that you want appreciation? In the same way. So your ego, yeah, you want to ask something?
Yeah, so that want of acknowledgement or appreciation, or when you get it, you get an energy. Is that false energy?
Yes. You are working for appreciation. You are not working otherwise. Your fuel is only your appreciation. It simply means others are able to make you work. You are not free in your choice of work.
Mm.
Look at from your point of view.
Mm.
Not that other person is cunning or what. You look at yourself. Why do I work? Not because I enjoy the work, but after all the hard work, when I get appreciation, that I enjoy. So look at your own motivation. Look at your own motivation. You're not motivated. You are not self-motivated. You're appreciation motivated. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. How can one identify and define one's duty? Minimum. The benchmark should be minimum. Okay. Minimum in the sense of expecting. Maximum in terms of giving. Okay. This is the benchmark. Now, minimum, maximum may be different for different people. You have to look at your comfort level, the kind of person you are, how much energetic you are, how much energy you have, how much organized you are, how much time you have. Only those things will define how much of duty is to be taken up, and then without any want of appreciation or any good words, we can be in the self-motivated way we should be able to do. And therefore, you should put limit to your own expectations from your own. You can't do everything. You can't do everything. And one thing, if you understand, then you can't do everything will be taken care of. You have no capacity to make anybody happy. Being happy is somebody else's choice. Okay. But you should be doing everything while you're happy. You should be able to do it happily, and you should be able to conclude it happily without receiving anything in return. That's your benchmark. But beyond that, you don't have any control. One underline sentence: you have no capacity to make anybody happy will solve your problem. How much duty you should undertake. Okay? Understand? See, God has no capacity to make us happy. As an ordinary people, we are taking that job in our hand to make somebody happy. Even God has failed. Even God has failed. Then can you add anything? Try it. But as much as your happiness quotient allows it. Okay. Right or not? What is my duty? I'll tell you. What is your duty? Your duty is to recognize that you are not this, what you are thinking. This is your highest duty. Okay. You will get entangled in the duty and responsibility and expectations and this and that and all the morals, etc., etc. But what is my duty, prime duty? When I was given this human body, human birth, the prime duty was to recognize who really I am. This was my prime duty. So that means what? Every project is secondary to it. Now define your duty. It's like you have been given the job of an accountant in a company and somebody wants you to do that job of a watchman also. Right? So now what will you do? If that is the need, let's say. You'll say, occasionally I'll watch who is coming, who is going. But my primary duty is to maintain the accounts. Here, if I fail, it is going to suffer. The company is going to suffer more. Yes or no? And I'll be questioned. which is my responsibility. So your responsibility, as far as you have asked how to define my duty, your prime duty is to live this life in such a way that when you leave, you are not finished as yet. That's your duty. Which means you should always be in that state, because you never know when your life is going to be finished. If you ask me, I'll tell you the truth now. If you're not done yet, don't think that death will come someday. You have a lot of time before that to reach to that state when you'll say, I'm done with it. We have been doing this millions of lifetimes. We have not succeeded yet, because we always thought there is a tomorrow, better tomorrow, a golden tomorrow, which will lead me to that state when I'll say, I'm done. It has to be attempted, achieved minute by minute, moment by moment, and now. Now think, if you're done with it, how would you live? Time pass. I'm done with it. Now what do you do? Time pass. Yes or no? And I can tell you, all of you are done with it. Right now, here and now. You don't have anything to do. It's only your compulsion. You think that if I will do, then people will benefit. I can tell you, you leave, people will benefit more. Right away. They will get better choices. They will get more freedom. Everything. Try it if you don't trust me. Leave right now and then watch. And you'll see, I was of no value at all. And I thought it's upon me to do all the things. Right? You see, when you were not here, the world was no less. There was no scarcity here. And when you will leave, the world will remain as it is. Everything will continue to work the way it is working now. Only a matter of time. Only people's selfish needs. You see, who becomes unhappy upon somebody passing away? What happens? Who becomes unhappy? And who becomes unhappiest? More the dependence, more the unhappiness, more the sadness. No dependence, no unhappiness, no problem. Yes or no? So many people die every day. Do you become unhappy? You don't, because you have nothing to take. You have no compulsions. You have no attachment. And why? Because there is no my. Understand? So living a life with only tint of my, not the contrast, a deep hue of it. A very light tint of I is okay. Little bit. And that too only for the practical life. When you're interacting in the world, of course you'll have to. Right? You have parked your vehicle at a wrong place, at a wrong door, at a turn where it needs to be moved, and somebody comes and asks you, is it your car? No, nothing is mine. You can't say that, no? You'll have to claim it. Yes, it is my car, and I'm going to move it. Yes or no? So that means what? In the world, you'll have to maintain it. You can't do without it. But internally, you should know, this is not my car. So a spiritual seeker is not special in any case. He's an ordinary person. In the world, he's an ordinary person. Because when you'll ask, is he your husband? Yes, he is my husband. But internally, he or she will know. No. Correct? Is it your car? Yes, it is my car. Fully knowing, not my car. I'll have to drop it when I leave. Yes or no? So this should be your way of living. It should not mean that you don't enjoy the world. You fully engage in the world, but just drop the my. And I can tell you, you enjoy the most when the my is dropped. This word my is dropped and you enjoy the most. Rather, my is boring. My is limiting. My is confinement. Look at your life and you'll understand. अपने घर में रहते रहते इतना बोर हो गए तो क्या करें, दूसरे के घर में रहो. And that is what you do. When you go to a resort, what are you doing? You're going to somebody else's house to stay. You're going to somebody else's properties to stay. You're going to some other place. So my becomes boring. Drop the my, and your own people whom you were thinking that they are boring, they will start looking fascinating. Because now they are not yours. You don't have any right on them. But they are just around, wonderful people. Why not? Why not to interact with them lovingly? Why not to interact with them? Why not to live with them wonderfully? They are wonderful people. But they are not my. Drop the word my and everybody will look brighter. Even the person will start looking more beautiful. The same person will start looking more handsome because he's not yours or she's not yours. Look at it. My is a problem. My gives this false sense of knowing something, knowing someone, knowing somebody. And the fact is, you never know a person. You have only ideas about it. And you know the idea of the person. You don't know the person. Person is different every day, has so many hues, infinite hues of his own or her own. You don't know. Only because my. Yes or no? You will start living in a fantasy land the day you stop claiming people as your. Come on, they are not my, but I still enjoy being with them. They still come to me and serve me. They still come and fulfill my needs. They're not mine. Look at it. How beautiful it will be. How liberating it will be. How thrilling it would be. Even on the material side, you people are understanding and getting goosebumps in your, and I know, but it is only about this world, in the material world, in this transactional world, your life will be blissful. Think about if you are done with it. And by doing this only you are done with it. Right? When do you get your goosebumps? Goosebumps are like, of course, at many occasions you get, but when in your happiness, in your freedom, you start getting goosebumps. What is it? Release of energy. It's like freedom. As if a certain freedom has descended upon suddenly. You see? People who are sitting together, if look at each other and say, he is not my man, she is not my woman, what it would be looking like? चलो एक बार फिर से अजनबी बन जाए हम दोनों. कौन सी लेडी बैठी है बगल? Now, look at your life. How so beautiful. Yes or no? Well, I'm just giving you understanding. Whether you like it or not, it is the best way to live. So in this way, you move beyond the first two chakras, and when you reach the third, you have to have this annihilation of ego by your teacher, by elders, by those who are superior to you. They will allow them. Otherwise, you will not able to move beyond this third. Because you will have better ideas about yourself now. Earlier, मैं पहले तो 5 बजे शाम को उठता था, अब मैं सुबेरे 8 बजे उठ जाता हूँ. But funny notions about yourself. I am a better human being. I'm well conducted. I'm a better sadhak. Right? I have become so charitable. मैंने तो सारी संपत्ति ही लिख दी है दूसरों के नाम. So you can't get rid of all that unless until you are reminded of all what you have not done yet. Right? So getting freedom from your ego, that false egos, not subjective ego, objective ego, the transactional ego, the ego of self-definitions has to be burnt in the fire of Manipur. When first time your flawless identity is born, which is placed in anahat, and such a person, anahat means never hurt, unhurt. He lives life but unhurt, not at all affected by anything, always joyful, always blissful, always calm, quiet, internally. Internally, there's a difference. Again, I'm telling you. In external world, you can't continue to smile even if somebody has died. Can you? Can you afford to? No. But your inner peace should not go away. And for such a person, inner peace will not go away. Externally, at the levels of other vrittis, he may feel it. He can get into it, but he'll soon come out of it, very soon. The moment he recognizes it. Understand? So I'm not saying you'll be completely out of the trap of this world, but you will start recognizing it is a trap and you can be out of it at your will. And that is what is needed. Recognizing the trap as trap is the first step. And second joy of it is that whenever I want, I can withdraw from it. I can get freedom from it. Even for a while. That is also liberating. Yes or no? Huh? This occasional freedom and the joy associated with it, if you start relishing it, start enjoying it, then you'll be enjoying it more and more, doing it more and more. Because it is uncomparable. As I said, you invest with people, you invest with things, but only you recharge when you are alone, in your solitude. Only in your solitude. And I can tell you one example which is known to everyone. You enjoy the most, you replenish yourself the most in the deep sleep when you have no connection with the world. You are only with yourself, by yourself. And forget about this. You have dropped even who you are. You have dropped even that. You're unaware of even that. You have not dropped, you have become unaware. And that's the only difference. Our job as a sadhak is for this Shakti to move beyond these chakras and tattvas depends heavily on whether we have dealt with the lower three or not. The lower three are the most important. Lower three. Swadhisthana, Manipura, Mooladhara. And I can tell you, when you have liberated yourself from these chakras, when you have elevated yourself beyond this, your consciousness is operating at anahat. Anahat means unhurt. You see, unhurt. When you can live in this world without getting hurt, in any sense, you're not disturbed, you're not angered, you're always calm and quiet internally. Again, bracket. Internally. Always calm and quiet, always inside blissful, have no complaints whatsoever, no guilt, nothing. No greed, no jealousy, no possessions, no demands, no obsessions, all that has gone, and now you are unhurt. Unhurt means if you are set to live alone, you are happy. If you are set to live with people, you are happy. If you said Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavi. You will always be nandati nandati. You will always be happy and joyous. Okay? This is unhurt person. Unhurt, 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 anahat. Okay? The same word in English. So how do we live that way? That's possible with the mother's grace. That's possible with our own efforts. Both are going to go there. But you say, but you see, mother is not so gracious. Mother is not so charitable with me. Did we not study? Just few shlokas that mother is always eager. Mother is always bent towards you. Breasts full of nectar, so much so that she's leaning with the weight of it towards you. Look at it. So don't complain. Your complaints are just excuses. You understand? So don't say that नहीं नहीं हमारा तो नहीं हो रहा. कुछ कर ही नहीं रहा होगा कैसे? हमारे पे तो कृपा नहीं हो रही है. इतनी तो हो रही है. सांस तो आ रही है ना. Are able to breathe? हाँ, good. बहुत कृपा है. Right or not? So this is how we need to progress. I'm not taking Manovapi Bhru Madhya because it is a very, very difficult thing. First, you have to liberate from these three. Then you become Vishuddha. After becoming yourself, you are not Shuddha, by the way. Even now, the traces are there. You are unhurt. You are not beyond hurt. You see, there is difference. When you move beyond hurt, then only you leave here, Vishuddha. Now pure. Okay. There is a difference. See, we recognize that somebody or someone has done something to me, and if I would have been the earlier version of myself, I would have been hurt. Now this trace of I would have been hurt, but now I don't feel as bad will also not be there. Then you become Vishuddha. Because you can't see that somebody has done something bad. You can't see. They move beyond. So Vishuddha is that chakra. Now think about this. It means, would you say, will I become like this forever and I can live like this? I did not ask for that. I always say, you should have windows, slots in your day when you can be like this. That's enough. That's enough. Okay? To be able to recognize that this is a movie projected on the screen, you have to only go once to the projector room. You should not be sitting there always to recognize that this is a movie. So you need not be hoping, and you should not put that high expectations from you that you should always be like that, and that is your aim. You can't achieve that. You can only create windows of such experience in your day to day. And how? With will, with knowledge, with discrimination. ठीक है ना? How? By taking up silence. How? By taking up 10 minutes of non-activity. Even if God comes, I'm not going to get up and do pranam. Inactivity. Why? I'm being with myself. Who are you? Shiva. Of course, yes. That is the ultimate where we want to reach. Understand? So you don't have to actually struggle too much. I'm giving you a very, very easy method, a doable method. Become nobody for some duration. You don't need to write it. You need to become it. ठीक है ना ज्योति? You have to become it. becoming nobody for 5 minutes. Nobody means nobody. I'm mother to none, father to none, sister to none, husband to none, wife to none. None. I'm nobody. And I can tell you, become nobody right now for a minute and think how do you feel? An exercise. Try. Become nobody. Stop all your self-definitions, entanglement of all your self-definitions. Become nobody for some time. When you are nobody, there is no duty. When you are nobody, there is no baggage. When you are nobody, there is no jealousy. When you are nobody, there is no future. When you are nobody, there is no past. When you are nobody, neither you are young nor you are old. When you are nobody, neither you are a sadhak nor a bogi. And try to enjoy this experience of being. That is it. This window, it needs to be opened once and it needs to be relished. Understand? You need to stay there long enough to be able to experience what it is. That's it. And the more you understand it, more you be there, more you relish it, the more you would want to go there again and again. And then only gradually that time will come when you can be there always. But this purusharth is to be done by you. Mother is always ready to fill your inner being with that joy which she is always pouring onto you. But you're not able to recognize it. The joy of being nobody will be able to give you that experience, that nectar which Mother is continuously pouring onto you. And you are still starving and thinking, de pyar, de pyar, de pyar. Begging around. Is it not? Look at it. And therefore, all we desire in the external has no addition. Whatever we lose in the outer has no subtraction from this experience. Yes or no? Whatever we desire and gain and accumulate, when we become ourselves mean devoid of all self-definitions which we think we are. We are not, by the way. And the people suffering from Alzheimer, etc., later their only self-definitions are dropped because their brains are no more capable of holding on to those definitions. Therefore, they become nobody. But now there is no use because they are not even conscious of that, they become nobody. Had they tried it earlier, their becoming nobody would have dealt with the Alzheimer also, probably. You see, Alzheimer patients are supposed to do more meditation. If they do it, the Alzheimer will retard. You see? Yes or no, Dr. Nitin will tell. Am I right? Doctor?
Yes, you're right, Acharya.
Okay, good. I'm happy you did not say you're always right. Okay, so do more of it. Reach there more often. That posture is greener than what you think. It's full of all the goodies, but nameless. It's full of all the rasas, but you can't come back and describe it. When you are alone, when you are nobody, only you are. The world disappears. Through this window, you recognize who really you are. A bundle of joy, who never suffered. The person who suffered was somebody. Nobody never suffers. Another time, Sahasrare Padme Rahasi. We will discuss that another time. Today it was more about moving from lower tattvas to higher tattvas. And of course, in Tattva Shakti Vigyan, we have a method, we have a process which has been given by Siddhas, Guru Mandala. We need to work through that. And of course, in day-to-day life, sadhana is not only done on the sadhana mat, meditation mat. This has to be applied everywhere. And for that, satsang, for that, these talks, for that, these reminders, for that, these discussions and friendly advices are needed. See, I don't want that people should follow me and I want to create a following. We want to create a following so that you keep coming and listen to us and this way we will feel good. No, it is in your benefit. That sadhana is not limited to only your meditation mat. It is taken beyond that in your day-to-day interaction. And those who have chosen to come, those who have taken out time, they have definitely benefited. I can tell you. Much more than any sadhana would have helped them. This has helped them a lot. But the problem is many times people don't come to these kind of, they think that sadhana to kar rahe, theek hai. Or they claim also. Sometimes, I will not take the name, but sometimes it happens. People never attend even a single talk and they feel they are doing sadhana. आप मजाक कर रहे, sadhana नहीं कर रहे. Because if you are doing sadhana, you will definitely want to connect to your teacher. Understand? Otherwise, you are doing only मजाक. क्योंकि आपको मजा ही नहीं आ रहा कुछ करने में इसका मतलब. You are doing it as a ritual. तो जिन लोगों को 2.5 साल 3 साल में एक बार अपने टीचर से मिलने का मन नहीं हुआ, साधना क्या खाक कर रहे, भले ही क्लेम करते रहे हम साधना कर रहे, कोई साधना नहीं कर रहे. उनकी साधना केवल मेडिटेशन में तक की है और अहंकार को पोषित कर रही है. इट इज ओनली फीडिंग देयर ईगो. All right, so thank you for today. Yes, Nandita.
Acharya ji, is nobody only experienced in silence and non-activity?
No, it can be experienced even in activity, but you have to learn it while being silent and being inactive. Your question is like that. Can I ride the bicycle when I'm talking? Yes and no. Yes, you can, but no in the beginning. You can't continue to talk and ride the bicycle. Understand? You have to ride only the bicycle in the beginning. Yes or no? Yeah, no? Understand? Can I smoke when I'm praying? This question. Can I smoke when I'm praying? No. Can I pray when I'm smoking? Yes. Understand? There's a difference. So yes, you can experience it while you are walking, talking, engaged in the world. But before that, you'll have to experience that. Get that knack of it. Before that, you'll have to be like that, silent and becoming inactive and then trying to become nobody. All right? Done? Okay. This mantra is done for mastery over elements. Now, mastery over elements means what? Mastery over elements means mastery over your connects, which are kind of become prison for you, right? Earth, water, fire, air, etc. But the lower three are the most important, as I told. So mastery over elements means the elements will not bind you. Always remember that, okay? And this mantra is also used, and for many purposes it's used. It is also used for the purpose of, when you want someone to return from the foreign country, you want him to come back. Okay. If your loved one has gone away and in a foreign land is not willing to come back, you can chant this mantra and pray to Ma Bhagwati, he or she will come back. Okay. Shiva.
Shiva.